Alrighty. Well, hello everybody in Facebook who is watching us today. I'm joined by the composer and songwriter Nica Zaharia, and we are going to discuss composition. Now, many of you know that I've been trying to encourage composition and improvisation amongst everybody, and we've got the improvisation concert coming up in June, which all are welcome to think about. So in this one, I'm hoping maybe by the end of it, we might all have some inspiration from Nica, from what she shares with us, that we might start being willing to explore some more composition aspects. So Nica, will I ask you first, or I just introduce, why don't we start with one of your songs? So let me start with one of your songs.
Galbenă butuie, dulce amăruie, lampă la fereastră, toată viața noastră, lampă la fereastră, toată iarna noastră. Dulce galbenă lumină, cum și eu bălaieram, mi-a pus mama o gutuie ce se coace încet la geam. Aș mușca-o, dar mă doare, mă cuprinde un fel de jin. Și acum că trece anul, parcă o simt îmbătrânind. Galbenă gutuie, dulce amăruie, lampă la fereastră, toată viața noastră, lampă la fereastră, toată iarna noastră. Mama.
Maybe I'll stop it there. And so when I met Nica at university, and we ended up doing a sort of compositional assignment together. And I was talking to the lecturer, and he said, "Sarah, I think she's really big in Romania. Look at YouTube." So I searched her name, and there's all these hits with millions and millions of views. And suddenly I realized that this person that I was studying music in an Australian university was someone who is actually quite big elsewhere. So after that very short introduction to you, Nica, let's start with some questions from your mouth rather than mine.
Thank you.
So can you tell us about where you're from and a bit about your childhood?
Yeah, thank you, Sarah. Thank you for inviting me. I feel so honored. Yeah, I was born in Romania, in Eastern Europe, and from there I immigrated to Australia in 2000. And that's all about me.
What are your earliest musical memories?
Look, I sang, I don't know, I started to sing, I can't remember when. So I think from the very beginning, 1 year or something, but I can't remember when I started to sing. But I can remember that it was in my first grade, and the teacher asked almost every one of us, what do you want to be when we are grown up? So everybody says, I'll be a teacher, I'll be an engineer, I'll be a doctor, and everybody, you know, the kids. And I said, I want to be an artist because I liked music so much, and I was singing all the time. So yeah, and this is my earliest memories from singing. I think 2 or 3 years, but I can remember singing a song and I couldn't say the words, and I went only la 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 la, and then I said the words which I knew. Yeah.
And At what age did you write your first song?
I started foolish around in during the grades 5 and 8, but serious. And then I went to the high school, because high school starts in Romania in grade 9, and I first sang covers with the band of the school, but we were around 5, so it was a drummer, a guitar player, a bass player, and they were, teenagers, so they didn't want to make a career in music or to sing all the time. So I ran after them, come to rehearsal, come to rehearsal. And then when I was in grade 11, a girl from another high school came there to study at our high school, and I heard that she could play guitar and she could sing folk genre. And I went to her room and I asked her, okay, could you please sing a little bit to me? She started to sing, and I started, harmonizing a little bit, and it was perfect. So I said, okay, let's make a group. And it was so liberating because we were only the two of us, and we had only one guitar, and most of all I started to compose. She didn't have, I don't know, the courage, she couldn't compose, maybe, or maybe she could, but she didn't. I did all the composing, and we sang folk, but it's not that folk genre which is recognized as a protest genre, because in communist Romania you couldn't protest against the regime, otherwise you would go to prison. So it was the same. Musically, it was folk, but the lyrics were taken from poetry. They talk about nature, about love, about how beautiful life it is, about peace. These are the topics of the songs, Yeah.
Can I go ask a question that I didn't pre-warn you about and say, when you say folk, are you talking about a specific Romanian folk music, or?
It was very close to John Baez folk, Bob Dylan folk, but only musically speaking, because otherwise lyrics weren't of protest, like those against the war in Vietnam or something like this. Yeah.
So I think you've answered that. You did work as an English professor in Romania.
Yeah.
So what made you decide that to leave that behind and focus on your music career?
Look, I wanted to go to the Faculty of Music, but the communists didn't want intellectuals. So there are very few places at universities. For example, to be an actor, there are 4 places a year to go to university. And for singers, if you wanted to study music, I think there are 3 or 4 places. So I couldn't feel myself prepared enough to face the entrance examination, because it was very tough. I needed at least 2 years because I was self-taught, self-taught, and I needed at least 2 years of preparation or something, with at least 2 teachers, and I couldn't afford to pay them. So my dream to study music at a university level has been since high school, since high school, until over 50 when we started the course together.
So if anyone is watching our live stream that is thinking, I'm too old, that Nica was 50 when she started. I was only 21,
Yeah.
but she was 50. So I was going to say something I've completely forgotten. Doesn't matter. I got distracted by that.
No, but in the meantime, before going to university to study languages and to be a teacher, I worked for 2 years at a musical theater in Cork at opera section. So I was a kind of professional, but not professional enough to go to the faculty of music. Yeah, and for languages, there were 25 places, not too more, but not too many, but not 3 or 4 like at the faculty of music. Yeah.
So is what you're telling us that you basically self-taught music?
Yeah.
Through school until university in later age?
Yes, because God gave me this gift in my DNA. So,
and what year did you write that song? I'm sorry, I don't know the name. The song that was listened to. What year was that?
The song is called Yellow Quince, and I wrote it when I was 19. And I forgot to tell you. When I was in grade 12, I was approved to sing on the most important folk stage in the country. And then I wrote the Yellow Queens, that song which started the video, this session. I was 19, and the song is about a quince. It's called the Yellow Quince, or the carol of the Yellow Quince, which stays during the winter on the windowsill, and the child is looking at it, and he doesn't dare to eat it because it is like a lamp shining all over the winter. Yeah. So, and I was 19 when I wrote that song, and after.
Yeah. So you wrote it to sing on that folk stage, is it?
Yes. And I had a huge success with it. Yeah. And I had more songs, but that one has had the most success there.
So this is the key point of this interview. When you write a song, where do you get your ideas from, or how do they start?
Yeah, it's easier for me to have the lyrics first, and then how do I start to write music? It's something like, like you are very thirsty. It's something which is inside me, and I feel the need, but a very strong need, an extremely strong need to write music. And then it's easy for me to have the lyrics first, and I just start writing, and I'm careful. Well, along the time, I've noticed that, for example, in a verse, if you have 4 lines, it's more interesting if each line is different from the other one, but they somehow form a whole. No, they have an inner harmony within with each other, and then it is the chorus. I usually like. I started to write the chorus not very different from the verse, but I heard that it's better to have a different rhythm, to be a little bit more bright, And well, I heard it and I started to do it because this is how I learned to play guitar. No one taught me to play guitar. I just saw others how they did it, and I did it myself. And I was very tough with myself. For example, I used to practice how to go from one chord to another, and I proposed to do it 100 times. And if I screw it at 98th time, I went back and I started from the first time again. Yeah, I was quite tough with myself.
I hope everyone's listening to that when we say practice.
To practice, yeah.
What about with the lyrics? So when you're sitting down to write lyrics, how do you start an idea and then grow that idea into a full set of lyrics?
Yeah, look, I studied at my first faculty. I studied languages and I studied a lot of literature, and I'm quite, I don't know how to say, but I'm quite picky when it comes to lyrics, and I studied the big Romanian and English poets. So I don't have, I feel a little bit shy when writing lyrics. So I don't write too many lyrics, but when I do, I try them to be, to have quite a literary value. And I usually, what inspires me, I don't know how to say, if anything, it comes to my mind. For example, with one song of mine, I was inspired by a blog of a lady from Scotland who lives in a real castle. So the castle is her home. And she wrote there that on the castle domain, there is a spot in the woods next to a river where lilies of the valley grow. And she says that sometimes she forgets to go there to see them in bloom, because they have a short time when they are in bloom. And she felt sorry for that. And I imagined, oh my God, what a place. So it's a quiet place. The river is flowing, the wood is there, and the patch of lilies of the valley who just are in bloom without, so they don't need anyone to see them to be in bloom. And I was so impressed by this that I wrote a song. And first it came to me the title. Usually the title comes last, but this time it came first, and it's called Where Lilies of the Valley Grow. And yes, and I prepared it for you if you would like to hear a little bit from it. Just a sec to share the screen.
I better make you a co-host so you can do that. There we go.
Oh, is it here? Host disabled participant screen share.
No, you should be able to do it now.
Okay, great. I share screen, just a sec. Don't
forget to share sound.
Share, yeah, okay. Share, just not this one. Where Lilies of the Valley Grow, this one. And play. Can you hear it?
Stop sharing and then start sharing again. But when you start sharing,
yes,
click the desktop, down the bottom left corner, it says share sound.
Left, share, stop video, security, participants, chat, share screen, reactions. No, I can't see.
Click share screen again. And then, and then the next step, it says in the bottom.
Share sound. Yeah, I can see it. Thank you. Okay, now play. So
spring always opens its door when time stands still. I know spring has come where the sleepy river flows and lilies of the valley grow. I
Did Zoom not do what you wanted it to do? Zoom can be a bit fun like that.
Okay, stop share. Now, this is a part of my song, and I'm very proud of a line there. I was thinking one day about the chorus, and a line was missing. Something wasn't right, and I thought, where the river flows, where I had first the sleepy river flows, and then I imagined a river, a river running, and I saw the waves, and that's something like a steam, from raising from the river, and I saw it like a lace. So I thought, let's make lace, which is a noun. Let's make it an adjective. So it's lacy. And I said, lacy river. Oh my God, how nice it sounds. And I didn't find anywhere this expression, lacy river, where the lacy river flows and lilies of the valley grow. So, and I was so happy, when I could do it. Yeah, it's harder for me to write lyrics than music. I always say that I can write music even in my sleep. But it was nice.
And it must be extra challenging writing lyrics in your second language.
Oh,
Find that?
yeah, I think I have more courage to write in English than in Romanian. In Romanian, I'm quite shy because I studied the poetry. I don't know, maybe because it's my native language, and I can't find the explanation right now. But it's easier for me to write in English. This is clear.
That answer surprised me, but there you go.
Yeah. No, just a sec. First, when I write something, it comes to my mind the idea, like in telepathic communication, so it comes just an image or an idea, and then I can translate it in words, in Romanian or in English. But it's easier for me to put that idea in English than in Romanian. Mm-hmm.
So, well, I've asked that. Do you have? I think you've answered that question. So now let's look at the melodies, because you've written so many songs. How do you keep finding new ideas?
I told you there is that urge that inside me. So I feel the need to write. It doesn't matter. So first is the feeling. I feel the need to write. I have to write, and I start to write, and the ideas comes. Look, I can tell you, I believe in God, so I'm sure that what it is created on earth comes from God. So comes from people who God invested credit. So my opinion is that artists are like antennas who download from God what is sent to them, and then translate it into three-dimensional words, or anyway, creation. This is my opinion.
So when you are coming up with these ideas, do you do them on their own, like as a song, or do you sit there? Do you have the guitar? Do you plan your harmonies before the melody?
sometimes the melody comes to my mind. Sometimes when I have the guitar in my mind, I think, well, do I need a major or a minor chord? And if I start and it comes, just comes. But and the psychological feeling is that I'm somehow in a special place. Psychologically, I can't explain very well how it is, but I feel like I'm like the reality is a little bit changed. It's interesting. I never said to anyone this. Yeah. And I feel very, very, very well. It's such a pleasure to do this. And then I start. And then if something nice comes, oh, how beautiful it is. I am the first who says how beautiful it is, because I feel that it's not mine. It comes from God. So it comes as a present. And I say thank you. And of course, I put my signature on it, because here on earth is mine. Yeah.
Have you ever found yourself stuck and not being able to get a new idea out?
No, because if I feel stuck, I think more. I concentrate more. And I usually, when I write a song, I write it right and there, not let it go, for the not postponing it to the next day or something. But I have a song which it is here. It is an instrumental song, and we had it as a assignment at Donna, and she said us, our teacher, she said us to film something and to put a soundtrack around 30 seconds. I did it. It was a sunset, a beautiful sunset. I did it, and I received feedback from our classmates. They liked it very much, and then I thought, what shouldn't I write more? A song, an instrumental song. And one night I was in my bed, almost asleep, and then it came to my mind around 4 or 5 bars with notes, but notes, full bars. And I said, oh my God, what? This is very beautiful, and I didn't have any stave next to me, any pen, and I jumped out of my bed, and I found a notebook. I drew a stave, and then I wrote the notes at the light of the phone. And since then, I always have next to my bed, on my bedside table, a music notebook, because if something comes. And after that, I think after 1 year or something, I heard that when you are before being awake and asleep, your brain is in alpha state. I didn't know that. Is in alpha state, and you are very creative then. But I didn't know it. They just come to my mind, and I wrote them. And I think 70% of that song is written in this manner, because when I lay on my bed and almost asleep, they came, some more bars, and I wrote them, and I can share it to you right now. It's only 2 minutes, but well, a little bit of it I'll share. It is called Australian Sunset, because the first, just a second, share, yeah. Australian Sunset, this is the one. And I have again, share with, if you can you hear it? No, so I have to do that thing again with the sound share. stop here. So share the screen again. And then I have share sound here. Sorry about this. Share. Okay, stop here. Did you like it?
And that's using musical sounds, isn't it?
No, I found an oboe player on Fiverr from Spain. And I paid him, I think, around $8 or $9, so not too much. And in 2 days, I had the score, the sound. Yeah.
When you're composing, do you follow a set structure and plan the structure and then compose the melody around the structure?
I know. Yeah, it depends on the song. For example, I usually use, what it's popular now in popular music. In introduction, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, and outro. But sometimes I use only verse and chorus. It depends. So if the verse has two parts, I don't use bridge. It depends on the structure of the lyrics. But usually I put a bridge because it makes the song being more complex. Yeah.
So you're saying that the lyrics set what the structure is going to be.
Yes, and what I intend to do with the song. When I was younger, I can remember that I wrote a song with only the verse, but it was nice. It depends on how I feel the lyrics and how and what they say. Yeah.
And I think I've already asked this. I think I've asked it a few times because
Yeah.
the thing I keep wanting to know is the methodology that we can take home and go, we can try that. We can try and compose late at night and see if we're more inspired.
Yes.
If we don't know where to start, where would you encourage us to start?
First of all, you have to have a passion for writing songs. If you want to write something that will remain and that will impress other people, so you have it's inside you first. So you have to start from there. You have to be, and then I'm telling from my point of view. At that point, I feel at peace with the whole universe. I don't feel I don't have any negative feelings, anything. So I feel blank and at peace and relaxed. So I can go in that state of mind to start writing a song. This is how I do.
Now, for any of the younger musicians who may be just thinking about writing a song, what advice would you have for them?
To have passion, to be passionate about it. Otherwise, no. Otherwise, do something else. I don't know. You can.
Don't listen to that.
Yeah.
I think the thing that you said that really grabbed me was you said about how you formed an image in your mind, and then you made that image come into words, and you thought about ways to express it.
For lyrics, yes. You have that image in your an idea, a feeling, something that impresses you. If you see a bird flying, I don't know, and to like it, how it flies. So anything can be an inspiration if you have a passion for writing. Anything, anything.
Yeah, I always, maybe it's come out in the sort of questions I've asked, I've always found lyrics really hard.
Yeah,
Once I've got the lyrics, putting a melody in, I choose my chords and then run with my melody after the chords are chosen. But the lyrics stage will stump me for ages.
Yes. This is like this for me too. It's harder for me with lyrics. But there are poets with very beautiful poems, and you can use their poems. Yeah.
And actually, that's a good point. There's lots of poetry that would no longer be copyright, stuff from 200 and 300 years ago.
70 years, I can tell you.
That we can use to get inspiration from. Yeah. Cool. Well, there's no questions.
And I have another song which doesn't have a bridge, and it's I like it, and it's of medieval inspiration. It is called Near the Castle. So that's it. Can you hear it?
Come with me, my handsome knight. The doors of the castle shine in the moonlight. The queen and the king don't know we've arrived, so let's sing and dance through the night. The noise of the castle is far away. Let's rest for a while, it's been a long day. We have the silky night with velvet light. The shining stars are reflecting our fire. Your wonderful eyes are full of desire. We have the silky night with velvet light. Come with me, my handsome knight. The doors of the castle shine in the moonlight. The queen and the king don't know we've arrived, so let's sing and dance through the night.
That's it. Just a sec. Stop share. Yeah. Did you like it?
It's one of my favorites from your CD.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it is lovely. Well, I guess that there's no questions in the forum, and there's no questions in the chat here. So, is there any final last words of wisdom that you want to leave us with, Nica, before we end the night?
Well, first of all, I want to apologize for my foreign accent, because English is not my first language, and sometimes I look for my English words, and because I'm a little bit nervous, I can't find them immediately, and I stammer. It's genetically. Both my grandparents from my mother's side and from my father's side stammered. It's skipped a generation, and I stammer too. So,
I think when you're on live stream, stammering is just part of what happens.
Yeah. What I'd like to say about this, just hold on to your passion. If you feel that you want to write songs, just do it, and it will come more and more and more. The more you do it, the more it will come, and it will give you wonderful happiness.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me
tonight, Nica. Much appreciated. And oh, we're frozen. Oh, there we go. So, and yeah, thank you. I know it's very late where you are too. So thank you for those watching on the live stream. And if you do watch this later and you want to add any questions to the live stream video, I'm sure Nica will see them and be able to answer them. So on that note, thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
And yeah, good night, everyone. And thank you to those still in the room. See you all next time.